Welcome back. Menopause Energized, day number 17 on the 30-day Healthy Heart Marathon Challenge. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Sheila, health coach, registered nurse with Menopause Energized, day number 17, you guys. We have reached day number 17 for the Healthy Heart Marathon Challenge. Now, we're talking about high blood pressure. High blood pressure during menopause will be explained today like never before. I call it the highway inside of you. The traffic jam you can't see until it's too late. Nearly 80% of hypertension and heart disease actually can be prevented through lifestyle changes, especially diet. Think of your bloodstream as a highway. Sodium attracts water like a magnet. When you eat too much salt, your body holds on to extra fluid. That extra fluid is like adding more cars onto the highway. Suddenly, traffic is heavier and the pressure inside the system rises. Your heart becomes this traffic cop. And this traffic cop with more fluid volume, that traffic cop, which is your heart, has to pump harder to keep everything moving. Over time, this constant overflow thickens and stiffens the artery walls, just like a highway that cracks under too much traffic. Arteries under strain are like a garden hose, guys. Imagine turning up the water pressure in a hose. The walls just bulge and it strains. And that's what happens to the arteries when sodium keeps blood volume high. They lose flexibility, making it harder for blood to flow smoothly. We call it the silent stress. You don't feel this immediately, but day after day, the extra pressure quietly damages the lining of your blood vessels. This damage makes it easy for cholesterol and plaque to stick around longer, you guys, setting the stage for heart disease, especially in the menopausal years. Excess sodium raises blood pressure and strains arteries like you would not believe. Now, the American Heart Association, guys, recommend no more than 2,300, milligrams a day of sodium. But ideally, they would like it to be 1,500 milligrams a day for most adults to reduce the risk of high blood pressure and heart disease. Minimum required is at 1,500. Guess what? Our body only needs 500 milligrams of sodium a day to function, for our body to function properly. Now, of course, we already know this. Excess sodium can lead to high blood pressure, which can lead to increased heart disease, which can lead to possible stroke, and kidney disease over time. Now, let me try to just paint the picture a little longer. Here is our heart. This is a healthy heart. But I want to paint the picture for you here. And I'm going to bring this up closer just in case you can't see it. This wall here is your blood vessel. Here is the cop, which is the heart. When you have too much sodium in your blood vessel, and then you have the water, it attracts the water like a magnet. These cars are considered the sodium molecules. So the more sodium you bring in, the more water that attracts to it, the more traffic jam you will have. Over here is the plaque. Because when your arteries are damaged, more plaque will stick around long to your arteries. And we call this high blood pressure during menopause. And the reason why I'm bringing this up during menopause, because there's an extra burden on that artery. Right now, you got the artery with the traffic jam, the water inside is starting to inflame and build up pressure. You have the plaque that stick around that don't want to go nowhere because they want part of the fun. But what happens in the menopause years, estrogen feeds on the arteries feed on the estrogen. The estrogen is what makes the artery strong. When we go through our menopausal years, again, what did I say? That estrogen level drops, which means this vessel is not going to be as strong and flexible to withhold the strain. So you see the point I'm trying to make today again. when we are in our menopausal years, this is already happening as we get older. But when we're in our menopausal years, that estrogen even puts a little bit, decline in estrogen, even puts a little bit more strain on this artery, because along with all this going on, this vessel is not going to be able to withhold it as much, because when the estrogen leaves, those blood vessels stiffen. So they can't take much of the stress. And again, that's why we are at more risk for cardiovascular disease. So this is what I've explained. This is the traffic jam. The traffic jam you cannot see until it's too late. And in other words, while all this damage is taking place, you may not feel a thing when it first happened. That's why we call it the silent killer for high blood pressure. I'll give you a little story. When I was at the bedside and I was taking one of my patients' blood pressure, and a family member wanted me to take theirs. While they were there, they had this big, huge bag of Cheetos, eating the whole bag. And they just wanted me to take their blood pressure. They don't go to the doctor. They don't know what their blood pressure is. They're not aware that they have high blood pressure. And when I had taken the guy's blood pressure, it was like 210/90. He didn't feel a thing. But think about the damage that may have already been occurring inside his body, because who knows how long he's been hanging around with these high blood pressures, since he told me now that he had not had any symptoms. But of course, we did get him down to the emergency room. So that's why it's called the silent killer. So while it's doing all this little damage in the body, the sodium building up, the water tracking of us vessels getting full, we may not experience symptoms right away. I do have a couple other cases where we've had patients that come in with high blood pressure, but they really never been to the doctor's office to check their blood pressure. But now all of a sudden they're not feeling well. Well, with this particular case, it damaged the kidneys, and they were in renal, what we call kidney failure. Do you see what I mean? Now, they may have had some symptoms before, but just didn't pick it up or just didn't think anything is serious. I never understood why we hold on to these symptoms and don't get it checked out, because if there's something going on, the longer you wait, the more damage it's going to do. I never understood that concept, but I'm not in those persons' mind of what's going on at that time. So again, this could be doing damage without you even knowing it. And sometimes you'll start getting these symptoms, but by that time, some damage has already been done. So I wanted to paint a picture today, the traffic jam, you cannot see until it's too late. I hope that paint a more clear picture of the connection between sodium and high blood pressure. My 3-week mini program, the nutritional program, I have that. You go to my website, www.menopauseenergize.com. It goes into much more than this. This is just a little part, something I want to explain a little differently. But it is it's a 3-week mini program. I coach it online. It's an hour and a half for each program. The first week we talk about diabetes. We break it down to the T. And you get your meal plans. And then the same thing goes for the second week for high blood pressure and the third week for cholesterol. And I believe I might not have said this, but they're like an hour and a half sessions long. Very informative. You will not be bored at all. And that is it for today. I will see you tomorrow, day 18. We are getting there. And if you're joining us for the first time, what was I going to say? Oh, if you're joining us for the first time, just replay, catch up on some of the series. Also, again, down in the link is a free PDF, talks about a healthy gut, and you get your meal plan as well. This all helps with lowering blood pressure. Tomorrow, we'll do another scenic picture or conversation on cholesterol and fats. Until then, I'll see you there. And again, be kind to your heart. Take care.